So it is already 3, and I think we should start today's session. First of all, good afternoon to all. Uh, on the behalf of DSW and ILLL, I welcome all of you in today's session on orientation cum guidance program for CUET 2022.
Ma'am, I'm not getting your voice. रवि जी, इंटरनेट का इशू मेरे साइड से तो नहीं है।
नहीं सर, मैम के साइड से है।
ओके ओके।
Good afternoon to all. On the behalf of Dean Students Welfare and Institute of Lifelong Learning, I welcome you all for today's session on Orientation cum Guidance Program for CUET 2022. Before I proceed further, I must tell you that the objective of this program is to provide guidance and orientation to all the candidates who are trying to sit in for CUET 2022. The idea of this program was conceived by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Yogesh Singh, and is successfully implemented by Dean Student Welfare, Professor Pankaj Arora, with his team of DSW Office and Institute of Lifelong Learning. आप सबका स्वागत है आज के इस कार्यक्रम में जो ओरिएंटेशन एंड गाइडेंस प्रोग्राम है फॉर ऑल दोज कैंडिडेट्स जो CUET 2022 के लिए अप्लाई करने जा रहे हैं। आज इस श्रृंखला का अंतिम चरण है। इससे पहले कि हम अपने एक्सपर्ट्स को बुलाएं, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट मिस्टर रवि टू प्ले वीसी सर्स मैसेज। मिस्टर रवि।
दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय की तरफ से इस काउंसलिंग सेशन में मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। मैं सबसे पहले धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा डीन स्टूडेंट वेलफेयर और IIL इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग, जिन दोनों ने मिलकर ये तय किया कि ये एक ओरिएंटेशन और काउंसलिंग सेशन का आयोजन किया जाए। मन में ये था क्योंकि ये जो कॉमन यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट है ये पहली बार हो रहा है। इसमें किस तरह का एग्जाम आएगा, किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस होंगे, ऑब्जेक्टिव है तो कहां पर फोकस करना है, ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रश्न बच्चों के मन में स्वाभाविक रूप से होंगे। तो उन लोगों ने दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय की तरफ से सोचा कि एक इस तरह का सेशन आयोजित किया जाए और विशेषकर इसमें फोकस उन बच्चों का रखा जाए जो कि SC/ST कैटेगरी से आते हैं। कई सालों का ऐसा अनुभव भी आया कि कई बार SC/ST की सीट्स खाली भी रह जाती है। कोई भी सीट खाली रहे किसी भी विश्वविद्यालय के लिए चिंता की बात है, और अगर SC/ST की सीट खाली रहती है तो और भी चिंता का कारण है। इस सबको ध्यान में रखते हुए और पहली बार हमने ये स्टेप जो लिया है और ये विद्यार्थियों के हित में है, हम सबको ठीक से गाइडेंस देनी चाहिए, ठीक से फिर पढ़ना चाहिए ताकि अच्छे कॉलेज में एक आपकी इच्छा के अनुसार कोर्स में एडमिशन हो। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन चल रहा है, नए नए उसमें आयाम जोड़ रहे हैं और जो टेस्ट के माध्यम से आएंगे सारे देश के बच्चे अपने अपने हिसाब से तैयारी करके आएंगे, तो हमको बहुत सिंसियरली इसको पढ़ना भी चाहिए। मैं आज उस बात पे नहीं कह रहा कि जो पहले हमारी पद्धति थी CUET से पहले की, उसमें कुछ खामियां थी या नहीं थी, लेकिन आज जब देश ने तय किया है कि CUET से होगा, हम सबको उसके हिसाब से अपने को ढालना है। और ये जो काउंसलिंग और ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम है उस ढालने की प्रक्रिया का एक हिस्सा है। मैं आप सबको बहुत सारी बधाई देता हूं, ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। आप दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में अच्छा स्कोर लेकर एडमिशन लीजिए। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में आपका स्वागत है।
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. So before calling upon our today's expert, I must introduce him, a small introduction. First of all, today the domain which we are going to discuss is related to geography, geology, environmental science. The expert which we have today, who will put in his advice on these areas, is Dr. Pankaj Kumar. Dr. Pankaj Kumar is Associate Professor in Department of Geography, University of Delhi. He has been teaching for more than past 15 years. The area of his interests are environment geography, snow cover and cryosphere, remote sensing and GIS, urban and regional planning, and so on. He has several research papers. So I request Dr. Pankaj Kumar to give his inputs to our students. Dr. Pankaj?
Okay, thank you very much for a very elaborate introduction, and I'm very thankful to the ILLL for giving me this platform to share my view on this CUET 2022 for undergraduate courses and how we have conceptualized these things. Recently, we have seen the video message of our Vice Chancellor, sir, and it has been rightly said that our disadvantaged groups are somehow they should be empowered through this type of knowledge sharing platform through online media, and we can approach to them. We can make them aware how they have to attend their respective questions, and how can they handle all these things while going through the examination process. So I'm going to share my slide here for further. Is this visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as it has been mentioned that it is an orientation cum guidance program for Common University Entrance Test 2022, and basically devised for the SC/ST students. so that they can get how they have to handle the questions, MCQ basically, which are coming into the examination, and which type of MCQ are coming, where we can find the syllabus of this CUET, and where we can get the study materials through which we can study and crack this entrance examination, and those students will be fortunate to be enrolled in the University of Delhi for further academic endeavor. So I will start with this. That now in this my session I'm going to deal with the geography, geology, and some of the questions I have taken for environment also. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. So, as earlier demonstrator has already mentioned these things, that this is the website for CUT 2022 syllabus, from where you can get the syllabus. That is very important one. You can click on this website and you can go to the CUAT 2021, and not only the syllabus, as for a specific subject. Are you getting this screen?
Yes, sir.
You can easily view and you can easily download uh, the syllabus of geography and geology. And as I mentioned you, that the syllabus in geography comprises two broad domain, that is the human geography and the physical geography. So you can expect your question from both the subdiscipline of the geography, that is the human and the physical geography. So in this human geography, you have the unit one, nature and scope. Unit two is talking about the people, and this one is of our the global scenario, like the distribution of population of the world and density and growth, age, sex composition, rural urban composition, and all are there. Unit 3 is talking about the human activities, which is at the global level, which we see like primary activities, secondary activities, tertiary activities, and quaternary activities, which the students of the geography who have already completed this in under the in 12th standard, they are quite familiar about all these the chapters which is there in the NCRT and the CBSE syllabus. Unit 4 is basically talking about the transport, communication, and trade, where we have to focus on the land transport, water transport, air transport, oil and gas pipeline. The new things which has been incorporated in the new syllabus is the satellite communication and cyberspace, and then we have the international trade. So all these things you have to read with very authentic sources, and I will mention one by one all authentic sources which you have to consider. Unit 4 is basically the human settlement, where we have to focus on settlement types. And then comes the other domain, that is the India, people and economy. Here you have to focus on the Indian scenario, like population distribution, density, growth, composition, linguistic, religious, and sex of the India. And their regional variation. You have to focus on migration also, human development, selected indicators, population, environment, and development. And then you need to basically focus on rural and urban settlement. And then there is a big scope area where so many questions comes, and that are the resources and development for unit 3, where we have to study the all land resources, water resources, mineral resources, industries, even the planning in India. So these are the India's specific domain, and then we have the transport, communication, and international trade, and the geographical perspective on selected issues and problems. These are the syllabus which has been given by the National Testing Agency (NTA) basically, and it is there on the samarth.ac.in website. Okay. Likewise, you have a syllabus for environmental studies also. So in this environmental studies, you can find how where you have to focus on like human beings and nature. So modern school of ecological thought, and other things which is there you have to consider. Nowadays we have a good scope that the sustainable developments are a core theme at the global level. So you have to focus on how sustainable development goals and other things are being achieved, and what are the development which are taking place around this sustainable development. And then we have the population and conservation ecology, where you have population dynamics, human population, the theory, some of the theories which are very popular, these are also there in the geography domain also. So you have to go by this syllabus very with the authentic books, I can say. And one by one you have to complete the all unit of this syllabus thoroughly, and make notes wherever possible for MCQ, and try to see the NCRT books where they have some of the questions after the chapter, after the finishing of the chapter, they have some of the MCQ questions. So from there also you can get idea about these things. So you go by this syllabus and complete the syllabus with using authentic books. Then you have uh, this is a structure which has been given by the our university, that in the section 1 you have to go by attempting the languages one, and then you have the domain as specific. We are talking here about the domain as specific, and then section 3rd is the general test, which you can get from the website address which has been given here. So these three you have to be careful about all, and you have to go for all these three to complete this entrance. The scheme of examination is maybe you have already come across with these things. And mode of examination will be the CBT, and duration will be 45 minutes. There will be MCQ. Total number of questions will be 50, where you have to attempt only 40. Marks per questions are 5. 1 marks will be deducted for wrong answer. Unanswered and marked for review questions will be given no marks, and the total will be 200. So out of the 200, you have to score the maximum. But please keep into mind that there is a negative marking. So be careful while attempting the question. The syllabus I have already mentioned about the geography, so I'm skipping this one. Okay, so marking a scheme, as I have already explained you, that the correct answers or the most appropriate answer will give you 5 options, or will be marked -1. Unanswered will be, or if you are putting it into the review, it will not be given any marks. When you are going to attempt these things, in my right hand side, this type of legend will come, and the legend will give you the picture which questions you have already attempted. So the green color is basically the answered one. Not answered will be in the orange color. Not visited will be the white colored, and the blue colored will be marked for the review. Yes, as I have told you that you have to consider the authentic sources to complete or make your understanding of your subject. There are some of the e-resources which are now very popular, and which you can access using this this the link. Like you have to go for the, if you are interested to complete the mock test, which is very much important to understand the nature of the questions those can be asked in this examination. You have also the cbcsacademic.nic.in. There is a diksha.gov.in. For NCRT, NCRT web link is given there. NLOS is also having their own repository of freely available, downloadable the chapters for all these syllabus, the geography syllabus. SWAM is also coming out with some of the lectures which are, or courses which you can get easily, and you can make your understanding by looking those video recorded videos. Then you can go to ePathshala also. My humble submission will be that you focus on the NCRT first, and the NCRT will give you a bit good understanding. And after that, if you have the time, you visit to the other resources to get uh, more on your unit syllabus. This is the site where you will find the mock test, and you can complete by navigating to the segment in which you are interested. Like we have the geography, so you can go to the exam name and year, month. Maybe some of you may have already completed it, but little slow. So if you want to complete the test, you try to do it in the uh, after 10 or after 11 in the night, so that there will be less rush. And then so yesterday I completed one complete, or for geography I opened and I have taken few of the questions from there, and which the nature of questions, which type of questions they are asking in the geography, we will discuss here. So the MCQ in the geography are basically these type of questions are coming. Then where you have to match the answer. There will be two column, and then you have to match the right one. Then you have to complete the statement, filling the text of definition with the term. Assertion and reasonings are there. Select the correct order. There are some high order MCQ, scenario based question. So all these are coming, and you have to prepare in this way. So you can see here the match question. So the question one of this mock test was this match list one with the list two. So there are approaches given in the geography. We have different approaches. So you have to you have to be like, this question is giving you that you should have a very good conceptual understanding about these approaches. So in a way, there are some factual questions, and some of the questions are very conceptual by nature. So in this question, you have to identify the match, and then accordingly you have to choose the correct answer. I'm not going to give here the answer, but I'm just focusing on which type of questions are coming into, may come into the examination, as has been given by the uh, NTA mock test questions. Okay. Question two, if you'll see here, the nature of question changes, and it is talking about the census. So you can expect some of the questions from the census also, and every time we have some or the other questions from the census in geography. So we have, as per 2011 census, which of the following states contribute more than 76% share of the total national population? So in this combination, you have to find the best one, and then you have to answer. The first question, if you will see the first question, you have five important approaches of geography, that is the regional analysis, areal differentiation, spatial organization, postmodernism geography. If I will say that if this is simple question, here you have to go for matching list one and list two. But I will suggest you, if there are some approaches mentioned here, you go by reading these approaches, and you try to find out how many other type of question can be associated with these approaches. So maybe from postmodern in geography some other question may come. So these are so in this way you try to prepare each and every components which is there, which come across to you while attempting this type of the mock questions. Okay. Another question is also from the census. So I see here that around four and five questions are from the census directly being asked. So you can prepare or you can focus on the census also. So the first is the conceptual one, where you have to go for the maybe having some understanding of the thoughts of the geography, and so you can go for the human geography aspects, and where you have there are chapters where they have some these are the things which has been discussed there, and from there you can develop your understanding. For census questions, you have the census of India, and you try to find out how many questions you can pick up from there, and which type of questions are coming regularly in the previous examination based on the census. That will give you good help in identifying some of the probable question from the census. In question 4, you will find here the correct way to calculate the physiological density. And here you have, so in this way, you can come out with some of, they can ask to find out this type of questions also. I found so many questions on the match one, and uh, list one with the list two. Another question, if you'll see here, the question number 10, that is having a different nature, that identify the incorrect fact or a statement regarding household industries or cottage manufacturing. So you have several statement here, and you have to find out the incorrect statement. Okay, so one or two, three, four questions you can find from, you can find of this type of this nature. Then another question is related with the, you read this question, which program was launched by the government of India? It means they are going to focus, or they are going to ask some of the, maybe they can ask some question related with some of the government program, which is very popular one, and they can ask, give you three, four statement, and which one is correct. So, which program was launched by the Government of India in 2015-16 to ensure water security through per capita availability of water? So you have to see some of the government program and run by the, maybe uh, panchayati raj institutions. So and what are the what are the major impact of those programs, or what are the major theme which was associated with that program? Yes, this is one important, like in every I see, not only geography, but in the environmental studies question also, I have seen this paragraph, uh, like question based on the paragraph, and one paragraph is there, and there are 5 to 6 questions based on one paragraph. In this geography, I found 4 or 5 questions based on the single paragraph, but in environmental studies, I found there is a one bulky paragraph, and there are 10 questions associated with that paragraph. So I say here that it can vary, like 5 to 10 can be the range of the question associated with one paragraph. So you have to prepare yourself, identify some of the important aspects like sustainable development, like climate change, uh, some other things which are the disasters, so disaster risk reduction and related issues in geography, and can expect, or maybe urbanization, or maybe some of the government program and policy. They can give you a big paragraph, and there will be some question related with those paragraphs. So I see here some of the question associated with this paragraph, and that is analyze the meaning of the polluter pay principle and identify the correct statement. So these statements are there from the paragraph. Maybe they have been paraphrased, or they have been modified little bit, but the essence will come from the same paragraph. So you have to read carefully the paragraph, and then you can easily handle 4 and 5 questions from one paragraph. Okay. The second question was that the environmental problem that has been addressed in the above passage is like this one. 4 they have given, and you have to identify one out of that, the best one. This one I found in the environment segment, environmental geography, and like we have the fill in the blank, and half of the statement is there, and so you have to fill from the answer. So, who is related to the Chipko movement? So there are names, and you can fill this one. These are the simple questions, a straightforward question, the factuals one. But there are some questions; those are conceptual one. There are questions, conceptual one, and based on the assertion and the reasoning. There are questions which are conceptual one and based on the statements. Okay, so nature of questions changes, but two things are important, that you have some questions which are very factual and some questions are very conceptual in nature. Here you have one question from again the environmental studies paper, and that the global warming is the result of, and then you have to find out what is the best answer in this. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have any question and query related with that, I must go by one question also. Yes, in geography, maybe I could not put it here. In geography, you have to also see that there are questions based on the maps, okay, and there are questions based on the graph also. Like they have given they have plotted a graph or trend line for population, maybe, or maybe sex ratio, or maybe some graph related with the migration, and they are asking two, three, or four questions related with those graph. So you have to see that one also. Like they are giving you the line graph, or maybe uh, the column wise. So you have the bar diagram, and then from that bar diagram, there are table also, x and y values are there. And upon that, and after looking that those graph or diagrams, there are some questions associated with that one, and that you have to infer and answer it. So in geography, typically I have found these things, that uh, uh, this question, and the one graph is associated with three or four questions. Likewise, I have seen one map of the India, and that is indicating some of the coal mining industries. And so one complete map is having several feature associated with that one, and based on the features which is there in the map, they have given four or five questions, and you have to attempt completely looking the map. So you have to prepare in this way, not only but this is typical to the geography. I haven't seen it in other subject, because map is our major component in our subject, and that is why they have given this one. So in a way, we have some questions very conceptual, some questions very factual, some questions where we have the assertion and reasoning type of things, some question based on the diagrams and graph, which has been based on some of the data, and then you have to come out the, there are passages, and based on the passage, based on passage, you have four or five questions associated with that, and then you have the map. And on the on typically on completely focusing on the map, you have certain questions, and maybe four or five questions are there on the basis of on that map. So you have to complete only 40 out of the 50. So you have to see which segment you have to touch upon, okay, and complete the thing. Thank you so much. If you have any query and questions related with that, I will be happy to take.
Thank you so much, sir. There is a question in the chat box. Mr. Joseph wants to ask,
Uh,
have you read Environmental Science? If there is, please name the book.
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Joseph wants to ask, is there any specific book for environmental science? If there is any, can you please name the book?
No, you have to go by the NCRT, and whatever the authentic books are there. We can't name some of the books here for the syllabus. You just pick the syllabus, and you have to focus that you have to take the book of class 12 standard, authentic book, which are there, written by either NCRT or other government organization. So please.
Sir, right now there are no more questions in the chat box, but as soon as they will come during the session till 5 o'clock, I'll get back to you.
Yes, ma'am.
So before calling upon the new expert, I would like to thank you very much for, first of all, giving the touching all the essential components related to CUET 2022 so nicely. You mentioned the website where the students can go in and look for the for different syllabi related to the domains they are interested in. You also discussed the syllabus of geography at length, and also the marking scheme and the examination scheme of CUET. You also discuss the possible expected questions in CUAT, and also the um, probable areas like the government uh, uh, jobs, government services, and all, from where they can get the questions. It is very useful, and I think all the students would be very benefited from the ideas and the suggestions which you have given to them. If there are more questions, I'll get back to you, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you very much.
So today, the next domain which we are going to touch upon is domain of anthropology, and we have an expert with us, Dr. Evitoli. I will take an honor to give a brief introduction to our expert. Dr. Evitoli is an associate professor in Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi. She is also assistant director in Center for Himalayan Studies, University of Delhi. She is University of Delhi alumnus. She has done her graduation, her master's degree, MPhil, and PhD from University of Delhi. Welcome, Dr. Evitoli. The session is yours now.
Thank you so much, Um, Dr. Sangeeta Gadre. That was really nice seeing you after a long time. It's really great, and I'd like to really appreciate our Professor Pankaj Kumar for a very detailed, very crisp presentation. That the structures are all similar, so I will not be repeating because he has explained very meticulously. So for which I am really thankful to Sir. Well, I am going to talk about the section 2, that is the domain subject, and my domain subject is anthropology. Please bear the noise that is coming from behind me. Everything was quiet, and suddenly some noise has started from behind me. Please bear with me. Um, I have a I have a PPT presentation, and I'm going to share with you right now. Well, okay, all right. Right. So this is actually this is a picture of Department of Anthropology in Delhi University, the outer view and the inside view. And today I am thinking that I know I have planned in such a way that I want to break down this presentation into 3 parts. The first part I would like to discuss about the syllabus and the e-resources, open access resources which everyone can get access to without payment, right? It's like free for everyone, but it is authentic because it's all government sources written by Central University faculty members. All right, and the second part of the presentation, I'll be talking about the structures or the type of questions. So I will give some samples, some examples. And third, just for a minute or two, I will talk about anthropology in Delhi University or anthropology in India for that matter, because most of us, most of the students who have just finished class 12, anthropology will be new to them because anthropology is taught only at a BSc level, at the undergrad level and postgraduate level. But there are few state boards like Kerala, for that matter. They teach anthropology in class 12. So apart from few boards, anthropology is not taught at the class 12 level. That is why it will be a little new to many students who have just cleared class 12. But I will assure you how interesting and how beautiful the subject is. Okay, so let's start. The All right, so this is the structure that I was mentioning: the syllabus, the questions, and a little bit about anthropology in the university. For those who are not aware of anthropology. Anthropology is such a beautiful subject, let me say. And this is the word anthropology is derived from two Greek words, anthropo and logi. And anthropo means human being, and logos is like science or study, or for that matter in Hindi, I think it is called Manav Vigyanan. All right, so that is what we do. In anthropology, we study what makes us human, and we try to explore our past as an archaeological anthropology. We also study the biological component. We also study the behavior aspect, the cultural aspect. So it covers, there are four main branches: the biological anthropology or physical anthropology. Then second, we have the social anthropology or the cultural anthropology. The third is archaeological anthropology, and the fourth is linguistic anthropology. Now, in the department or in Delhi University, we have these three main branches: the physical anthropology, the social anthropology, and the archaeological anthropology. These three main branches are taught. All right. So now let us look at the syllabus. By now, you must have known where the syllabus are located, because the speaker before me has meticulously described it, and this is the link, where the anthropology syllabus has been mentioned. Yeah. All right, so this is the link I've opened, and this is the anthropology syllabus for class 12, and there are 5 units. I'll just scroll down very slowly. Right, so that we have the first unit is physical anthropology, second is prehistoric archaeology, third we have material culture and economic anthropology, which falls under social anthropology, of course, and the fourth unit has 2 components, social anthropology and ethnography, and the last component is ecology. So there are 5 units. So this is all right, now we are back. Now let us discuss the first unit. The physical anthropology. Now you know where the syllabus of anthropology is located at the cuet.samar.ac.in. You already know the link. Now let me just break down the syllabus unit by unit and explain. So the first unit is physical anthropology, and we have the 3 main themes under physical anthropology. Now, the first one, about human genetics, about heredity, about the Mendel's laws of heredity, and so on. I think at this moment, I will recommend that the students who are interested in sitting for the entrance examination under the domain anthropology, I will suggest that you read the NCERT Class 12 biology book, especially chapter 5. And I have even provided the link. If you are interested, I can paste it in the textbook. I mean, I can paste it in the inbox if you're interested. So to deal with the first theme and all those human genetics, the knowledge of human genetics, and all, NCERT class 12 biology. As I've mentioned earlier, we don't have anthropology in NCERT yet. So biology textbook will be relevant. The second one and the third one, that's the definition of race, the racial criteria, ABO blood group, all this racial classification, and all these aspects. I will suggest that there is one very, very interesting digital platform, and this is a government owned because it is initiated by the Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, and there's a platform called eGyan Kosh. And of course, the modules that are prepared under eGyan Kosh are for undergrad students, but there's no harm in taking a look at it because the modules have been prepared very systematically, and most of them have been written by archaeological anthropologists and very eminent archaeological anthropologists in the country. So I will suggest that you take a look at the eGyan Kosh. I have given a link here as well in my presentation. So about the race, the classifications, the ABO blood group as racial criteria, all this you will find under eGyan Kosh. And under eGyan Kosh, go to a BA section, BA Anthropology or BAc Anthropology. I will just show you here. All right. Okay, so here I've just opened the eGyan Kosh website, and under here you will find BA Anthropology here. Okay, so if you click here, there'll be like semester wise. So now you click at the the semester concern. Just 1 second. All right, now back to syllabus again, and then you will find a whole modules, a whole unit on archaeological anthropology, not archaeological, I'm sorry, on the themes that have been mentioned in the first unit, physical anthropology. So that is the that will take care of the first unit. Now, when it comes to second unit is prehistoric archaeology. Okay, I think I made a little mistake earlier. Instead of saying racial classification or racial studies, I was talking about archaeological anthropology, which was supposed to be for Unit 2. So in the second unit, prehistoric archaeology, you are supposed to prepare on tool making, tool families, and prehistoric cultures, all those Neolithic periods, Paleolithic and Mesolithic, all this. I think the best left from open access, the e-resources that are available on the government platform, I think is again eGyanKosh. I will recommend that, because if you go, I've just shown you, if you go to the website eGyanKosh and then you click at BA Anthropology, there is one semester wholly on archaeological anthropology, and there are so many modules, very, very meticulously written, and these are written by Central University faculty members. So all this, whether it's tool making, the technology, the prehistory cultures, all this have been meticulously, published in form of modules. So I think that will really help you. And one good thing about the eGyanKosh platform is that after every module, they have questions, in the form of short question, in the form of MCQs. So I think it will be interesting to take a look at that. So I will advise that if you're preparing for anthropology domain subject, you prepare according to the syllabus that has been set by NTA. So all this, the prehistoric archaeology, all the themes that comes under it, you will be able. This eGyanKosh will be able to help you. Now the third is the material culture and economic anthropology. Now this unit 3, the third unit, material culture and economic anthropology, definitely it comes under social anthropology. And here, in economic life here, what we anthropologists do is that we are focusing on small scale societies. We are focusing on, actually we normally use the word primitive because it's kind of a little derogatory, so we really don't say primitive. But simple economic systems, small scale societies, or like subsistence economy, we are interested in that, or livelihood patterns. And then again, on the third one, the brief outline of methods of hunting, fishing, agriculture, with reference to various communities of Northeast India. This particular third theme under Unit 3, I want to pose that for a while, and I want to bring it on the fourth unit. Because the references are somehow similar. So I will only talk about the economic life and the subsistence economy. So these two, the first two themes under Unit 3, you will, it'll be, I think the open access that is available is, as I mentioned earlier, SCERT Kerala board. They have class 12 anthropology. So if you go to their website, where is it? Let me just open it for you. Here it is. I think you can see this. Higher secondary course, anthropology, and this is for class 12, Government of Kerala, Department of Education, SCRT. This is a textbook prepared by the Department of Education, Government of Kerala, and you'll find that the material culture and the economic anthropology, all this you will find. This particular textbook will help you to understand the themes that are mentioned under the third unit. Now let us go to the fourth unit. The fourth unit is on social anthropology and ethnography. So here, actually, social anthropology is quite a lot, but according to the syllabus, they have only restricted to one single institution, that is family. So even for this very unit, like the family, the definitions, the types of family, the rules of residence, functions, all this, again, you will find in the same e-resource that is open access, that SCERT Kerala, I think they have a textbook on the class 12 anthropology. You will find everything about the family in one of the chapters. It's called, I think, social institution. It's a big textbook, but I think it'll be easy to trace because it's a PDF, it's there, open access, and everyone can have access to it. Well, I'm not supposed to put any. At this very moment, it's not very advisable to give any books for references. So please ignore the Barbara Miller's work. I think you better focus on the open access that are available. The second part of Unit 4 is on ethnography. Now, ethnography is one of the strengths of anthropology. Here we have many monographs. We have many monographs written about a particular community, and at a very micro level. So we document the nuances, the intricate details, the everyday life of a particular community. So ethnography, as I've said, is one of the strengths of anthropology. Now, in the second part of Unit 4, these are something which I need you guys to I need you all to understand. They have specifically mentioned the Garo, the Mishin, the Aonaga, and the Apatani. Now, these are beautiful, interesting tribes. They are located in the northeast part of India. So I think it's actually very refreshing to see something about Northeast being included at the national level for this kind of common entrance. It's really refreshing to see this. So the whole second part of the Unit 4 is dedicated to the land and people of Northeast India. And I was wondering, when I saw this syllabus, there was hardly any textbook specifically on Northeast. In anthropology, we have lots of monographs, but we can't tell students to read all those 9, 10, whatever available monographs that we have in the library. Then I was searching, and then NCERT has actually published a textbook on Northeast, and I think this textbook will come in very handy to, especially for the second part of the Unit 4. And I will show you that. Here. This is the textbook that was published by NCERT, and it was, I'm just scrolling it down. All right, Northeast India, People, History, and Culture. And it has got around 160 pages. All right, it's got around 160 pages. I'm shifting it back. And I got this textbook and said from the NCERT website itself. So in order to prepare for the second part of the Unit 4, please look at this particular textbook that has been published by NCERT. And all those tribes that have been mentioned in this particular unit, whether it's the Garo, the Mishin, the Aonaga, or the Patani, all these tribes are mentioned in the textbook under different state. Like the Garo, you will find them under the state of Meghalaya. The Mishin, you will find them under the state of Assam. And the Aonaga, you will find them under the state of Nagaland. And Apatani, you will find it under the state of Arunachal Pradesh. So this is a very, very, very interesting, very comprehensive textbook that was published by NCERT. So for this unit, please refer to that. Now, the last unit is ecology. Now, in anthropology, we refer to this as environmental anthropology, and what we study in environmental anthropology is a little different than what has been mentioned here because it has got a lot of biological component. But as per the rule, the questions have to be as the class 12 standard. So now, the same textbook which I've been mentioning, there's a class 12 textbook from the Department of Education Kerala, the SCRT class 12 book. That textbook also has a particular chapter on ecological anthropology. So you can again go to their website, SCRT Kerala, and download the full textbook and read only the chapter. You don't have to go through the entire textbook. It's like huge. And also, not only SCRT Kerala, but even NCERT, you can even refer to the class 12 biology NCERT. And in biology, there is one very interesting chapter that is called Environmental Issues, Chapter 16. And I think this will be this particular chapter, Environmental Issues, Chapter 16, under biology in NCERT, this chapter will also help in preparing for your, especially for this very unit, that is Unit 5, ecology. So for this very ecology, SCRT Kerala class 12 anthropology, and NCERT class 12 biology, especially chapter 16 environmental issues. These are good open sources which will help you understand ecology. And this is something, if for those who are preparing for entrance examination in anthropology, you are from science background, so ecology and the themes that are mentioned under this, you are quite familiar with it. So a little brush, just brush up a little bit and come prepared. Well, so that is as far as the syllabus go. Now I want to discuss a little bit about the questions. The speaker before me has done very well, and I will not go into all the meticulous details, but I will discuss you 3 sample questions, and these questions were all lifted from the NCERT and the SCERT books only. Okay, nothing from the textbooks as such, all from the open access. So, the simple and multiple choice question, the simple one, you have the question and then you have 4 options and you just have to click one correct answer. That kind of questions, obviously, that will be there. But remember, out of 50 questions, well, you have to attempt 40, and remember, some questions will be easy, some will be medium, some will be difficult. All right, but then mostly I believe that it will be medium. It will not be very difficult if you are preparing really well. So, for example, who proposed the laws of inheritance in living organisms? So you have the one correct answer, and this one correct answer, but then you have distractors as in they will put the names of the scientists who have worked in similar areas or who are quite popular when it comes to inheritance, heredity, genetics, and so on and so forth. So, in the examination, I do understand that the students, I have been a student once, and then sometimes we do panic and we may press the wrong button, but I need you all to be focused, calm, and just click on the right answer. Now, the second type of question is match the following, which there will be, some match the following questions, and I have not lifted it from the mock test, but I have just made it on my own based, looking at the syllabus from the NCERT and from the SCERT books. So now here, this is from the 3rd unit. So on one hand, you have the livelihood patterns. You have agriculture, horticulture, pastoralism, foraging, and on your right, you have the description of the livelihood. So now you have to match it. So now the options are given below, and the correct combinations have been given. So the only one option has got the correct combination of all 4, and the rest are again distractors. So for this kind of match the following. Just focus, for example, agriculture. Now, when it's agriculture, it is talking about crops, it is talking about permanent plots. So definitely that is 3. If you're talking about horticulture, it's about domesticating plants in gardens using hand tools and so on. So that is 4. If you're talking about pastoralism, cattle, animal herds, domestication of cattle herds, the use of the products. For foraging, it's about collecting, it's about obtaining food, whatever is available there in the nature. So now you have that understanding. So now you make sure that the combination that you have identified is correctly presented in one of the options. All right. So this match the following. Please take care of this when you have this kind of questions. The 3rd kind of question is like a STEM question where, or for that matter, you have one particular statement or a question, and then they give you 4 statements, or they give you 4 answers, and then again they ask you to choose the correct option from the option given below. So now, which of the following is true for Indian joint family? Now, I've taken this particular question from SCERT class 12 anthropology, Kerala. Right. So here, which of the following is true for Indian joint family? So now they're given 4 probable features of Indian joint family, like, it is based on blood relations extending over 3 or more generations, having certain cultural norms. Okay, that is right. Property of the family is owned jointly by the members. That is correct. The property can be divided between the members of the family. Now, as per the SCERT books, it is mentioned that the ideal Indian joint family, the properties will not be divided. But here, the statement says that it will be divided. So probably C is wrong. All right, so now the 4th is all the members share common residence but cook in different huts. So now, the ideal joint family will be, you have a common residence and you do cook in same hut, not different huts. So probably D is wrong. So now you have to tick the option where only A and B is correct. So A and B is correct. That is like number 3. I mean, the answer number 3 for that minute. I'm just giving an example. All right. So make sure that when they're giving you statements, and make sure that just take care of certain antonyms, certain negative words, because just a single word difference, and then it will decide the fate of the answer. So please take care of that. For example, the property can be divided. It should happen. It cannot be divided. So all this, small negative words, small words that really twist the sentences. Please pay attention to all that. Finally, I don't have another sample, but I just want to add one more thing. Professor Pankaj has already mentioned about this, that even in anthropology, you will get comprehension, you will get like full and a huge paragraph, and you'll get around 2, and then each comprehension you will have there'll be like 5 questions, let's say. Now the thing is, comprehension is like all the answers that you're searching for is already there in the paragraph, and this is the test to check your ability whether you're able to comprehend or not. So pay attention to the paragraph, read it carefully before you click your answers. That will take care of these are some structures which I had prepared to which I prepared to show you how it may come. I don't know what kind of questions will come, but these are probabilities. The last part of my presentation, I would like to talk a little bit about anthropology in DU, because as I've said, most of the students who are applying, who intend to sit for entrance exam on the domain anthropology, you may not be knowing anthropology, but in Delhi University, only one college offers, that is Hansraj College. But the students come to our department, PG department, for classes. So here in the PG departments are research-based. So we have big laboratories. We have the molecular genetics, physiology, forensic science, visual anthropology, public health. We have all those big laboratories. So the students, even though they are at undergrad level, they are exposed to this kind of research-based laboratories in the department. So that is one of the advantages of coming to the department for your classes. And we have a website if you want to check out more. If you're curious, that it's antro.du.se.in. And we also have an official YouTube channel where we have documentaries, films, or made by our students, our undergrad students who have won numerous awards, of course, and also lectures delivered by eminent anthropologists from India and abroad. All this, there are around like 100 videos in this official YouTube channel, so you can always look into it. And we have all these laboratories. We have the we have our archaeological laboratory. We have the museum, forensic, ergonomics, public health, you name it. So this is one subject that has the scientific component, the humanistic component, and there's one famous saying that anthropology is the most humanistic of the sciences and the most scientific of humanities. So I want to wish you all the very best. Do your best, and hope to see you all soon in our university campus in the coming months. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let me check if there are any queries in the chat box. It seems right now we do not have, but maybe after some time we may have. Let me thank you for such an energetic, full of enthusiasm, full of passion for anthropology presentation. Even I would love to join your department as a undergrad student. So I mean, you have done the very big motivational thing to our students. I'm pretty sure most of them would now, looking at your presentation, would like to choose one of the domain as anthropology. Ma'am, you introduced them with the syllabus of anthropology in detail, and also you told them the sources from where they can study for anthropology, including e-resources like e-Gyan We are very thankful to you for that, and also mentioning the discussing the probable type of questions on the areas which they can get, like it can be statement based questions, or they can be match the following or comprehensive. uh, and so I think they would be benefited a lot by the talk. And in the end also, you gave them the flavor of anthropology in DU. That was the icing on the cake. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll get back to you as soon as there are questions in the chat box. So before I do the hand over the session to Dr. Swati, I would just like to wind up with few things. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आप सबको टाइम मैनेजमेंट ज़रूर करना है जब आप क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हैं. तो टाइम मैनेजमेंट बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. आप एक क्वेश्चन पे ज़्यादा टाइम मत वेस्ट कीजिए, आगे बढ़ते जाइए. अगर क्वेश्चन नहीं आता तो आगे बढ़ जाइए. ऐसा हमारे जो आज के दोनों स्पीकर्स हैं, उन दोनों स्पीकर्स ने आपको रेलेवेंट वेबसाइट बताया है जहाँ से आपको सिलेबस पता चल जाएगा CUET के लिए. प्लीज़ don't look in for any other website for the syllabus. That is the authentic website, which is the cuet.samarth.ac.in. प्लीज गो ट्राई मॉक टेस्ट, क्योंकि मॉक टेस्ट आपको प्रैक्टिस देगा अपने आप को ट्यून करने के लिए उस दिन एग्जाम के लिए। आपका जो स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया है सब्जेक्ट डोमेन का, उसको भी टेस्ट कीजिए, और जो आपको लगता है कि वीक एरिया है उसको स्ट्रेंथन करने की कोशिश कीजिए। जैसा कि दोनों स्पीकर्स ने बताया कि इसमें जो टोटल मार्क्स हैं वो आपको 200 मार्क्स मिलेंगे हर एक डोमेन के लिए। आपको 50 क्वेश्चंस मिलेंगे, आउट ऑफ 50 क्वेश्चंस आपको 40 क्वेश्चंस करने होंगे। हर एक राइट अटेम्प्ट के लिए आपको 5 नंबर मिलेंगे, और रॉन्ग अटेम्प्ट के लिए आपको -1, मतलब कि 1 नंबर आपका, जितने आपने मार्क्स अभी तक उस टाइम तक आपने इकट्ठा किए होंगे उसमें से डिडक्ट हो जाएंगे। सो बी केयरफुल, ऑल द बेस्ट, बी काम, look in for the right resources and e-resources, and please take the mock test also before going in for the final test. Now I switch over the session to Dr. Swati for the further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. Thank you all the resource person who had joined us for this session. Thank you, ma'am, for conducting this session so smoothly and with all the elaborations that was possible as a message to the students. मैं फिर से आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ हमारे इस प्रोग्राम ओरिएंटेशन कम गाइडेंस फॉर CUET 2022 के आखिरी पड़ाव पर। ये प्रोग्राम एक बहुत ही सकारात्मक सोच का एक उद्भव है, मॉडल है, जिसका प्रारूप रखा था हमारे आदरणीय कुलपति महोदय प्रोफेसर योगेश सिंह जी ने, जिसको एक सकारात्मक रूप दिया हमारे डीन स्टूडेंट वेलफेयर और डायरेक्टर इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग प्रोफेसर पंकज अरोड़ा जी ने। तो इस संकल्पना और प्रारूप का बहुत अहम रोल रहा है इस प्रोग्राम के कंसेप्चुलाइजेशन में, उसके एग्जीक्यूशन में। लेकिन डेफिनेटली हमारे इस मुहिम में हमारा गोल जो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का रहा है, दैट इज़ टू address the social inequality and adhere towards the quality education access to all. इस मोटिव के तहत जब हम नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं अपनी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में, तो इस तरह के प्रोग्राम एक स्टेप हो जाते हैं, एक सीढ़ी हो जाती है उस संकल्पना को सकारात्मक रूप देने में। लेकिन मैं एक और अहम बात आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहती हूँ कि महज संकल्पना ज़रूर वो एक आधारशिला है किसी प्रोग्राम की सफलता के लिए, लेकिन महज संकल्पना और प्रारूप उसका आधार बनने के बाद उसकी सफलता तक नहीं पहुँच पाता जब तक कि उसमें एक बराबर सहयोग न मिलता। और यह सहयोग हमें मिला उन तमाम साथियों से, सीनियर प्रोफेसर से और सभी लोगों से जिन्होंने अपना कीमती समय लगाकर इस CUET के ओरिएंटेशन कम गाइडेंस प्रोग्राम में अपना योगदान दिया है। उस योगदान में मैं बहुत ही तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ उन सारे रिसोर्स पर्सन का जिन्होंने अपना कीमती वक्त लगा के इस प्रोग्राम को एक सकारात्मक रूप दिया है। इस प्रोग्राम की एक ओवरऑल समरी और एक ओवरऑल व्यू लेने के लिए मैं एक अपना छोटा सा प्रेजेंटेशन आपके साथ साझा करती हूँ, जिससे हमारे इस पूरे नॉन्स्ट पीरियड का स्टार्टिंग से एंड तक की हमें थोड़ी सी जानकारी होगी। मुझे 1 मिनट का समय दीजिए, मैं इसको शेयर कर रही हूँ। मेरी स्क्रीन शेयर हो पाई है? अगर कोई मुझे बता दें।
Yes, Dr. Swati, it is good.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. So this program was basically an orientation cum guidance program for Common University Entrance Test CUET 2020, and it was under the Aegis of Dean Students Welfare and Lifelong Learning University of Delhi. हमारा ये प्रोग्राम बेसिकली जो अंडर ग्रेजुएट लेवल के एंट्रेंस टेस्ट है, उसके कंडक्ट में हमारे जो कैंडिडेट्स हैं, जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, जो एस्पिरेंट्स हैं बेसिकली यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली के लिए, उनको मद्देनज़र रखते हुए हमने इस CUET प्रोग्राम का आयोजन किया था। यह सब पूरी तरह से फॉलो करता है NTA गाइडलाइंस को, जिसके तहत CUET का यह टेस्ट 554 सिटीज़ अक्रॉस द इंडिया एंड 13 सिटीज़ आउटसाइड इंडिया में होने वाला है। एग्ज़ाम की डेट्स आ चुकी है, NTA के वेबसाइट पर आप उसको जाके चेक कर सकते हैं। ये तमाम डेट्स आपके सामने हैं। इन सभी डेट्स पर कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेस्ट के माध्यम से ये CUET का टेस्ट होगा। ये डेट्स आपके अपनी चॉइस पर था और एडमिट कार्ड में आपको अलॉट किया गया है। What we did in this entire program, the 6-day sessions was, 6-day program was oriented towards addressing all the 3 sections of CUET. और ये 3 sections थे लैंग्वेज के, जनरल टेस्ट के और डोमेन स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट के। इस 6 दिन के प्रोग्राम में हमने 11 सेशंस रखे। इन 11 सेशंस में हमने अलग अलग तरह से इन सेक्शंस को डील किया। हमारा पहला 2 दिन, दैट वाज डे 1 और डे 2, was devoted on basically about the introduction to CUET and the entire program structure, which was the base in terms of making students understand what is the framework of the objective type question and how the marking structure would be taken into account. So proceeded with that. After the 2-day sessions, we proceeded with the domain specific subject, which was basically the thrust of our program. We actually wanted the students to raise query and get rid of all the fears and anxiety that they have regarding their own subjects and the respective combinations that they were trying to, they have applied for. So we also tried to incorporate all the subjects. इसके लिए हमने clusters बनाए और उन clusters को एक दिन देकर हमने sessions को plan out किया था. So the cluster 1 was related to accountancy, bookkeeping and business studies, followed by science domain in physics and chemistry, also included music as performing arts, one of the subject. The third cluster was related to computer science, information practices and mathematics. Business economics और history को हमने cluster 4 में रखा. Fifth was followed by sociology, psychology, physical education. Political science, legal studies, mass communication, mass media हमारे cluster 6 का हिस्सा बने. और further हमने home science और science की आज चर्चा की थी. और अभी के session में we are through with the geography, geology and anthropology section, which is part of social science. So we tried to incorporate all the subjects which are being taught in DU and which comes under the science, commerce and social science domain. So our best effort was to have an inclusive view about all the subjects that are taken in the CUET under the NTA guidelines. So students, when we talk about your basic focus in the recent 2 weeks which are there before your exam, are all the speakers, all the session were towards the very basic thing, that was making you familiar with the website, because this is a computer based test. So our emphasis was to make you aware about all the material and all the guidelines, all the instructions which are available on the website. So most of our speakers have already done it, and I'm reiterating it, that every information are to be seen in cuet.samarth.ac.in site, where you have all the aspects related to CUET. जो सबसे recent है वो है display of mock practice questions, which are very much important. आप सभी देख रहे होंगे इसको, हर एक रिसोर्स पर्सन इस पर्टिकुलर बात को बहुत एम्फेसिसली कह रहा है, क्योंकि ये टेस्ट पहली बार हो रहा है, इसीलिए हम सबकी जिज्ञासा भी है और एक प्रारूप को देखने का, समझने का इससे बेहतर तरीका नहीं हो सकता. और ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि ये मॉक टेस्ट कई सैम्पल पेपर्स के तौर पर हैं. इट इज़ नॉट ओनली अ सिंगल मॉक टेस्ट, बट एवरी पेपर डू हैव 6 to 7 mock papers, so you can easily go through. But just don't think that this is the mock test which is there, which would be replicated. But definitely pattern यही होंगे, लेकिन question में विविधता आ सकती है. और विविधता आपके टाइम को भी प्रभावित कर सकती है। इसीलिए आपका जो एक फोकस है वो एक ओरिएंटेशन की तरफ है, गाइडेंस की तरफ है। इसीलिए आप इस मॉक टेस्ट को एज अ प्रैक्टिस रखेंगे। सिलेबस कहाँ पर कैसे है, सारे टीचर्स ने आपको अच्छे से ये चीज़ बताई है। जस्ट टू रिटेरिएट, CUET समर्थ के वेबसाइट पर जब आप जाते हैं, सिलेबस सेक्शन में क्लिक करने पर आपको सारे सिलेबस का व्यू मिलता है और आप उसको डाउनलोड भी कर सकते हैं। और ये टेस्ट और मॉक टेस्ट का एक स्पेसिफिक नोटिस आया हुआ था जो आपको सबको मालूम भी है, साझा कर रही हूँ। इसमें इस पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन से आप क्लिक करके अपने उस मॉक टेस्ट तक पहुँच सकते हैं। जो हमारे प्रोग्राम की बेसिक हाईलाइट रही है, जो हमारा स्ट्रेंथ रहा है, जो हम करने के आतुर थे और शायद हमने बहुत हद तक आपको इस पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट से परिचित कराने में हमें सफलता भी मिली है, दैट वाज अबाउट टू डेवलप द क्लैरिटी अमंग द स्टूडेंट्स टू मेक देम फेमिलियर अबाउट द पैटर्न ऑफ CUET। एक पैटर्न की बृहद जानकारी देना हमारा मुख्य उद्देश्य था। और इसके साथ साथ हमने ये अपॉर्चुनिटी आप लोगों को दी कि आप डायरेक्टली सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट से इंटरैक्ट कर सके, एक साक्षात्कार के बेसिस पर अपने क्वेरीज को डील कर सके। मुझे ये बताते हुए बहुत हर्ष होता है कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट ने अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके, वीडियो ऑन करके हमारे साथ संपर्क साझा और अपने सारे क्वेरीज को वहाँ सॉल्व किया और उसके बाद रिमार्क्स भी दिए कि हम बहुत ही ज़्यादा सेटिस्फाइड रहे और हमें इस प्रोग्राम से बहुत लाभ मिला है। और इसके साथ साथ में हमारे सारे रिसोर्स पर्सन ने आपको सारे मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन के पैटर्न के बारे में अवगत कराया और उसको अटेम्प्ट करने का एक डेमो भी दिया। इस तरह की डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन आपको कई सारे सेशंस में दिखेंगी और मैं कुछ एग्जांपल है, जैसे अगर आप मैथमेटिक्स वाला सेशन देखें या साइकोलॉजी वाला सेशन देखें तो आपको बहुत अच्छे से जानकारी मिल सकेगी कि किस तरह से उस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन पर जाना है। और उसमें कई तरह की बातें थी कि आप उसको फिक्स कर सकते हैं, अगर आपको कुछ दुविधा है तो अभी आप उसको होल्ड पे रख सकते हैं, अगर आपने सबमिट करना है तो आप उसको किस तरह से इंडिकेशन आएगा। तो इन तमाम जानकारियाँ इस पर्टिकुलर सेशंस में अच्छी तरीके से दी गई हैं। आप उसमें रीविज़िट करके उसको आप क्लियर कर सकते हैं। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि जिन्होंने वो लिंक ज्वाइन किया या यूट्यूब पे जो लाइव चल रहा था वो मिस हो गया है, नहीं। अगर आपने इस चीज़ को उस दौरान मिस किया, सो डिजिटल वर्ल्ड है, सब कुछ की एक्सेस एक सस्टेनेबल बेसिस पर होती है, तो ये डिजिटल फॉर्म में आपके साथ है, आपके पास है और हम इन सारे लिंक को एक्टिवेटेड ही रखेंगे। और इसके साथ ये सारे लिंक हमारे दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के वेबसाइट पर, DSW की वेबसाइट पर और इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग के वेबसाइट पर हमेशा उपलब्ध रहेगी। तो आप इस पर रीविज़िट कर सकते हैं, इन वेबसाइट्स पर जाकर पुनः एक रेट्रोस्पेक्शन कर सकते हैं और जहाँ भी आपको किसी भी चीज़ की जानकारी पुनः लेनी है आप उस पर जा सकते हैं। लैंग्वेज का सेशन जो 29 तारीख को हुआ था उसका यूट्यूब लिंक यहाँ पर है। जिन बच्चों को इस यूट्यूब लिंक का स्नैपशॉट लेना है वो इस स्क्रीन का भी शॉट लेकर अपने पास रख सकते हैं। So according to the days as it was designed in the main program, all the YouTube links are available according to those days. So you can revisit and clear all your doubts which are left behind, and you can just check out with any kind of important thing which you might have missed otherwise. So तैयारी बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, इसलिए हमने सिर्फ आपको उस पर्टिकुलर सिलेबस से रूबरू कराने के साथ साथ, प्रारूप से, पैटर्न से रूबरू कराने के साथ साथ, we as a teacher also have attempted to let you get out of that fear factor. As I can see, and we have been doing in the entire 6-day program sessions, there were 11 sessions. All the 11 sessions, the resource persons have very much emphasized upon the peace of mind of you as a candidate who is appearing for a test. Test, the word itself always has a kind of fear factor attached to it, but we have to be very confident when we sit in the exam. And as it was also said in this session by Dr. Sangeeta, the coordinator, that it's very important that you have a stable state of mind when you sit for an exam. So That will not only give you a kind of confidence, but it will also make you believe in yourself. So it's not only at times when we sit in the exam, we just are so much nervous that we even forget what we have studied, read, or what the kind of concepts that we have built in all get literally trembled. But we have to be very patient, we have to be calm. That will enhance the self-belief. So the tips to score a high marks in CUET, because it is marks based test, there is some score which is going to come out of it, and that score is going to help you to get admitted in any of the universities of your choice. So you have to be very serious about it, you have to be very patient about it. You should know that this has a relevant answer to your career. So you have to be, it's not a pressure, but it has to be a conscious effort. So the self-belief is important, the time management is important. When we talk about time management, it is about every question require a different section in terms of time management. Some questions might be typically absolute, where you hardly need 10 seconds to go for it. But if it is a paragraph based question, then you have to give about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes to that particular question, so that that paragraph itself is an explanatory to all the answers that are based on that. So if you don't read the paragraph carefully, how are you going to attempt those questions? So you have to be very serious about the paper, and at the same time you have to be very conscious in terms of your effort in organizing the time. So definitely you also have to know the exam, because it is entirely a computer-based exam. So you have to have some pre-checks in terms of your internet connectivity, because the time duration is limited. It's 45 minutes, you have to attend the question. So in terms of your connectivity, it's very important that you check your connectivity, you check your system, you check everything, that whether any of your devices is working or not working, something like that. You also have to have a check towards the NTA website every day, so that any new information which is floated in should be in your knowledge, and it should not overdo your the period where you have to sit for the exam. So you have to understand the modalities of the exam, and definitely this time management and know the exam is on spot in C2 practice that you will do. The off C2 is definitely about the revision of the entire syllabus, and this revision should not be vague. It should be very concise, it should be precise. And in most of the competitive exam, as it is always said, that the theory of elimination is more important than theory of selection. What I mean by this is, क्या नहीं पढ़ना है ये important है, इसीलिए सिलेबस दिया गया है, प्री डिजाइंड है कि आप सिलेबस को विजिट करें और उस सिलेबस के अकॉर्डिंग ही प्रिपरेशन करें. आपने ओवरऑल अपनी बहुत जानकारी बढ़ाई होगी, या आप इंटरेस्टेड होंगे बहुत सारी चीज़ों को जानने हेतु, लेकिन इस CUET में एक प्रिसाइज सिलेबस है, आप उसी पर अपना ध्यान कॉन्सेंट्रेट करें, उसी को रिवाइज करें, और डेफिनेटली मॉक टेस्ट को ना भूलें, क्योंकि वो आपको एक प्रैक्टिस सेशन देगा ताकि आपकी फेमिलैरिटी रहे एग्जाम सिस्टम से, और आप बहुत ही सहजता से किसी भी नयापन से दूर, एक्सपेरिमेंट से दूर, आप एक तैयारी के साथ CUET में बैठें और आपको सफलता मिले ही मिले. इतनी इंश्योरिटी अपनी तरफ से ज़रूर कर लीजिएगा, ताकि आपको अपनी गलती ना दिखे, आपको यह न लगे कि मेरी तरफ से कोई चूक हुई है. बाकी तो सब कुछ निहित है, और सब कुछ होगा, और आपकी करियर आपके हाथ में है, और आप अच्छा करेंगे, और तैयारी के बेसिस पर आपको एक अच्छे स्कोर की हम शुभकामनाएं देते हैं. और डेफिनेटली हम डीन स्टूडेंट वेलफेयर और इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली की तरफ से आपको ऑल द बेस्ट कहते हैं, और आप अपनी अच्छी तैयारी, शांत मन और बहुत ही आत्मविश्वास के साथ टेस्ट में बैठिए, और दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय आपका तहे दिल से स्वागत करता है. बस इन्हीं पंक्तियों के साथ मैं अपनी बात को विराम देती हूँ, और चाहती हूँ कि जस्ट और चाहती हूँ कि आप सब बहुत ही अच्छी तैयारी के साथ दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में अपना स्थान अर्जित करें. क्योंकि दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय एक इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा रखता है और एक आत्मविश्वास के साथ आप इस विश्वविद्यालय का हिस्सा बनते हैं और हम सब उसी विश्वविद्यालय का हिस्सा रहे हैं और डेफिनेटली हमें एक कॉन्फिडेंस है और हम अपने लाइफ को अच्छी तरह से जीने का हर परिप्रेक्ष्य में, चाहे वो पढ़ना हो, चाहे कॉन्सेप्ट हो, चाहे लिवेबिलिटी की लाइफ हो, उस वेल बीइंग की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। इसी सकारात्मक सोच के साथ मैं आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, सारे रिसोर्स पर्सन का, सारे कोऑर्डिनेटर्स का और वेरी मच प्राइमरीली हमारे मेंटर प्रोफेसर पंकज अरोड़ा जी का, जिन्होंने इतना विश्वास रखा और ये उम्मीद करी कि हम सब उनके प्रारूप को, उनके फ्रेमवर्क को एक क्रियान्वयन रूप दे पाएंगे। थैंक यू सर फॉर दिस एंड आई over to you for your concluding remarks.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Though I was just considering not to speak because Dr. Swati has covered all the aspects of this program so beautifully in so methodical way that nothing is left with me. But of course, best wishes can always be given at such occasion when your children are going to appear in any of the examination. This orientation cum guidance program for CUET 2022 is first of its own type in the history of University of Delhi, and I think in the history of any national level competitive exam. This is my understanding. Maybe I am wrong, but even if I am wrong, even then I believe that this initiative was really wonderful. Wonderful for a new to join heads and hands with the aspirant students of University of Delhi and for the aspirant students of central universities in the country, that everybody is passing through this difficult phase of struggling to find out what CUET is about, what would be the curriculum, how to attend it, and especially when our class 12 students were coming out from school education now and entering into a new era of their personal life, of the life of the nation, and the life of the whole academia. Because this transformation of theirs from school to university is a major landmark in their own life, in the life of their families. But at the same time, it's an important shift for the people of education because national education policy is also being rolled out from the year 2022 itself. बहुत सारे बदलाव हायर एजुकेशन में, स्कूल एजुकेशन में आने वाले हैं. स्कूल एजुकेशन का स्ट्रक्चर बदलने वाला है. हायर एजुकेशन में 4 साल का ग्रेजुएशन प्रोग्राम आने वाला है और ये सब के आप ना सिर्फ observer banenge, but you will be participating in this change. You would be the founders, you would be the leaders of this change for the generations to come. एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 जिसने एजुकेशन के बहुत सारे नए डायमेंशंस को टच किया है. स्किल एनहांसमेंट, वैल्यू एडिशंस, इंटर्नशिप, रिसर्च एट ग्रेजुएशन लेवल और इसके साथ साथ बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स टू एक्सप्लोर. तो यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली ने बिल्कुल देरी नहीं की और इस सब कंपोनेंट्स के साथ एक नया करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क आपके लिए तैयार करके रखा है. और बहुत सारी दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटीज भी इसी रास्ते पर हैं कि वो या तो इसी साल से नया करिकुलम लागू करेंगी जो 4 साल का ग्रेजुएशन होगा, जिसमें मल्टीपल एंट्री मल्टीपल एग्जिट का ऑप्शन मिलेगा, जिसमें क्रेडिट ट्रांसफर की फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मिलेगी, जिसमें एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट फंक्शनल हो जाएगा एस्पेक्ट, और जिसमें भारतीय भाषाओं को विशेष महत्व दिया जाएगा हायर एजुकेशन में भी. अभी तक हम बात करते थे भारतीय भाषाओं की या खासकर मातृभाषा की, तो हम आमतौर पर एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन का कॉन्टेक्स्ट देखते थे. तो ये बहुत अच्छा गोल्डन पीरियड है जिसमें हम सब पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं, लीड कर रहे हैं। और ये जो 6 दिन का 11 सेशंस का ओरिएंटेशन कम गाइडेंस प्रोग्राम DSW और ILLL के कोलैबोरेशन में हुआ, अगर मैं एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, एज अ एकेडमिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर कहूँ, तो शायद मेरे पास शब्द कम पड़ जाएंगे इसके कॉन्सेप्चुलाइज में। ठीक है, संकल्पना भी थी और प्रारूप भी था जो डॉक्टर स्वाति ने कहा, लेकिन उस संकल्पना और प्रारूप को जिस शिद्दत के साथ यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली के डिफरेंट टीचर्स ने, चाहे वो ILLL से जुड़े थे, चाहे वो DSW से जुड़े थे, चाहे वो फॉर्मली इन दोनों संस्थानों से नहीं जुड़े थे, जैसे डॉक्टर अवितौली हमारे सामने हैं, शी इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ DSW और नॉट पार्ट ऑफ ILLL, but her presentation and her commitment was showing that she is concerned about the students who are taking admission to University of Delhi. We really appreciate initiative of all the resource people जिन्होंने बहुत एफर्ट डाल के, रिसर्च करके हमारे फ्यूचर स्टूडेंट्स के लिए रास्ता आसान बनाने की इस कोशिश को कामयाब बनाया है। मैं कामयाब बनाया है इसलिए कह रहा हूं क्योंकि मेरे पास ऐसा बहुत सारा फीडबैक आया है, ना सिर्फ हमारे यूट्यूब के कमेंट्स के साथ, बल्कि मैंने पर्सनली 12th क्लास के बहुत सारे बच्चों से कहा था, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्कूल टीचर्स, स्कूल प्रिंसिपल्स से मैं टच में था, तो मैंने उन्हें कहा था कि अपने बच्चों को कहीं अटेंड करें और साथ साथ हमें बताएं कि उन्हें क्या फायदा हो रहा है और इसको कैसे सुधारा जा सकता है। तो इसको लेकर जो फीडबैक आया वो शायद जो डीन स्टूडेंट्स वेलफेयर का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, वेलफेयर, उसकी पुष्टि करता है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने कहा सर इट वाज आई ओपनर फॉर अस। बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने कहा कि हमें तो कुछ भी नहीं पता था, एटलीस्ट नाउ वी आर फेमिलियर एंड वी विल बी टेकिंग इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन अबाउट आवर एडमिशन टू एनी ऑफ द ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज or any of the university, central university or state university. But now they are in a position to take informed decision about their career, about their academic future. ठीक इसी तरह जो हमारी इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को ऑर्गेनाइज करने में कोर टीम थी, टेक्निकल टीम ILLL से रवि, पंकज, कावेरी, जिन्होंने बहुत सीरियस एफर्ट्स डाल के इसको सक्सेसफुल बनाने की कोशिश की। मैं सबके नाम बिल्कुल नहीं लेना चाहता क्योंकि ये सब एक यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली की टीम का काम था और उसमें DSW और ILLL ने लीड लिया, लेकिन कोई भी टीचर, जैसा मैंने पहले कहा, चाहे वो DSW या ILLL का हिस्सा था या नहीं था, उसने इसको पूरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ, अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टुवर्ड्स कम्युनिटी, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टुवर्ड्स वर्ल्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन को बड़े अच्छे से समझा। और मेरे पास, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा था, आई डू नॉट हैव वर्ड्स टू अप्रिशिएट एंड टू थैंक देम द वे दे हैव डेडिकेटली committed and worked on this. I also take this opportunity to convey my sincere thanks from Vice Chancellor Sir as well. कल जब उनसे मेरी बात हुई इस प्रोग्राम के कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स को लेकर, कंक्लूडिंग डे को लेकर, तो उन्होंने थोड़ा ब्रीफ मुझसे मांगा कि किस तरह चला, कितने लोगों ने अटेंड किया, कौन कौन लोग इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, रिसोर्स पीपल में कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं आई, तो ये सब उन्होंने मुझसे जानना चाहा। और जब मैंने बताया कि सर मुझे तो ये भी नहीं पता कि कैसे टीचर्स अपने आप इस प्रोग्राम से जुड़ते गए और ये प्रोग्राम शेप लेता जा रहा है और हर टीचर एफर्ट डालकर अपना होमवर्क करके इस प्रोग्राम में आ रहा है। हमारी कोर टीम में जो एकेडमिक कोर टीम थी, जिसने गाइडलाइंस दी रिसोर्स पीपल के लिए, कोऑर्डिनेटर्स के लिए, प्रेजेंटेशन को लेके कुछ स्टैंडर्डाइज करने का भी अटेम्प्ट किया, बहुत सारे रिसोर्सेस NTA वेबसाइट के भी दिए, स्वयं के भी दिए। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि जो लोग स्क्रीन पर हमें दिखाई दिए वही लोग एक्टिव थे, बहुत सारे हमारी टीम में ऐसे लोग थे जो स्क्रीन में दिखाई नहीं दिए, बट देयर एफर्ट वाज इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट। और जब ये सब सुना तो वाइस चांसलर साहब ने मुझे कहा कि प्लीज कन्वे माय सिंसियर थैंक्स टू ऑल द ऑर्गेनाइजर्स, ऑल द रिसोर्स पीपल एंड कोऑर्डिनेटर्स, जिन्होंने इस भले काम में, इस शुभ काम में हमसे जुड़े हैं, जिन्होंने इस काम में उनके वर्ड्स आहुति देना था कि जिन्होंने इस हवन कुंड में आहुति दी, और दिस इज रियली रिमार्केबल टास्क कि 7 दिन के सेशन में हमने सारे ही एस्पेक्ट्स को कवर करने की कोशिश की। वीसी सर ने ये भी कहा कि स्टूडेंट्स जो इस प्रोग्राम को अटेंड कर रहे हैं उन्हें मेरी तरफ से शुभकामनाएं दीजिएगा कि हम बहुत बेचैनी से, बेसब्री से चाहते हैं कि जो बेस्ट लॉट स्टूडेंट्स का है, जो स्टूडेंट्स इस प्रोग्राम को देख रहे हैं या नहीं भी देख रहे हैं, उनमें जो प्योर मेरिट के बेसिस पर जो CUET की स्पिरिट है, CUET का मैंडेट है कि जो डिस्पैरिटी बोर्ड्स की थी उसे खत्म करके प्योर मेरिट को इक्वल एंड इक्विटी के साथ इस रिग्रेस प्रोसेस से निकलकर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली में आएंगे, उन्हें हम बहुत स्वागत करना चाहते हैं और हम बहुत शुभकामनाएं देना चाहते हैं कि वो बहुत संभल कर, बहुत संयम के साथ, जैसे बार बार डॉक्टर स्वाति ने भी कहा कि पीस ऑफ माइंड के साथ एक एक क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से देखें और अपने आंसर्स रजिस्टर करें। वी आर ईगरली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू रिसीव यू एट यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली, चाहे आप किसी भी कॉलेज में आए, चाहे आप किसी डिपार्टमेंट में आए, चाहे आप 4 साल के पुराने प्रोग्राम्स का हिस्सा बने या नए प्रोग्राम का हिस्सा बने, लेकिन आप हमारे साथ एक शिफ्ट, एक मेजर शिफ्ट इन द academic curriculum of University of Delhi and the entire nation, उसमें आप जुड़ने जा रहे हैं। आपका कैरियर बहुत ब्राइट हो, आप बहुत अच्छे डिसीजन ले सकें विद ऑल दीज गुड विशेस एंड on behalf of Dean Student Welfare Office, on behalf of Institute of Lifelong Learning, and on my personal behalf, I would again thank all the organizers, core team members, coordinators, resource people, and looking forward to welcome this brightest lot of students जो एक नेशनल टेस्ट के थ्रू बहुत अच्छे से अपनी प्रतिभा को सिद्ध करते हुए यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली में आएगा। और DSW ऑफिस अपनी जिम्मेवारी से आज ही मुक्त नहीं होता, बल्कि एडमिशंस के दौरान आपके प्रोसेस में आने वाली कुछ भी रुकावट, कुछ भी परेशानी, कुछ भी ऐसा कॉम्प्लिकेशन जिसमें आपको मदद चाहिए, तो बिलीव अस कि डीन स्टूडेंट्स वेलफेयर ऑफिस आपको पूरी तरह से हेल्प करने को, असिस्ट करने को तैयार रहेगा। और उसके बहुत सारे चैनल्स होंगे, ईमेल और फोन नंबर्स तो एक चैनल है ही, हम एक बहुत जल्दी एक और पोर्टल ला रहे हैं जिसमें ग्रीवांसेस और आपके ऑब्जर्वेशंस आ सके। Thank you very much. All the very best. Thank you. And over to you, Dr. Sangeeta.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for such an enthusiastic remark for all of us. I would like to finally, sir has already given vote of thanks, but still I would like to thank all the resource persons, all the coordinators, and all the people who are working behind the curtain to make this program successful. As I started in the beginning, that this program was conceived, the program to have orientation and guidance program, the idea was conceived by our honorable vice chancellor Professor Yogesh Singh, which was successfully implemented by our dean student welfare Professor Pankaj Arora, along with his team of DSW office and Institute of Lifelong Learning. So I want to thank all of them and I want to congratulate all of them for such a successful beginning, I will say. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you all. With this, we end this session and also this series. All the best to all dear students. Thank you so much.